Happy Saturday, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Hope you're having a great weekend so far. Mine's been busy, which is why this video is coming at you a little bit later than usual. If I look a bit of a mess, I've been knocking down a bunch of kitchen walls. We're kind of making arrangements to put up some drywall tomorrow, doing some expansion of the space that we have, which is kind of limited. So there you have it. You'll excuse the ragged look, but that explains it. Right now, just before we kick off, I want to remind you guys that there's a lot of price fluctuation depending on what your favorite project is. Maybe it's up, but things are kind of flat / down a little bit. I should point out that we have a couple of new price predictions. So we have one for ETC, we have one for XMR. If you'd like to look into more of these price predictions, you can hover over the review tabs here on altcoinbuzz.io and then head over to technical analysis. You have a whole range here, a whole catalog of price predictions in article format. Some of these are transformed into video format. You'll see recently that we have a couple of such instances in terms of Litecoin, in terms of VeChain, but I don't get around to all of them necessarily. So you guys can always check out this catalog. You can also check out our Telegram Trade Signals group. It's not financial advice, but it's a collective discussion where you guys can learn and chat about chart analysis, technical analysis, price predictions, and also just get up to speed on some of your favorite projects. So I'll link to that as always at the top of the comments. It'll be pinned there. You can also find it in the discussion. Today is kind of, a continuation, I suppose. We came up a little bit and then came back down a little bit. The total market cap is up versus yesterday's video. It's up because we're now at $1.29 trillion. However, over these last 24 hours, the figure is still down 0.8% in terms of that last 24-hour snapshot. You can see for yourself, we're starting to see a little bit of uptick here. Again, it's kind of case by case depending on the project. But now we're seeing, I think what's especially clear is the 7-day trend based on the way things are lining up. Projects are down almost universally across the board, double-digit percentage drops over these last 7 days. Which, if you watched yesterday's video, you may or may not agree with me. It's not financial advice, but which I look at as a buying opportunity. Not an indiscriminate buying opportunity. I'm not saying you should buy everything that's down, but this is my kind of rationale. This is just subjectively how I see it. If you have a project that you love, nothing's changed fundamentally. Some talk about an increase in capital gains has meant a hit for Bitcoin, which is then cascaded down. It's translated into a hit for your favorite project. A couple of mine that I talked about were Chainlink and VeChain. I scooped those up on the dip. If nothing's fundamentally changed, then you're buying at a discount. You may as well, right? The analogy that we talked about yesterday was of a Ferrari. If you suddenly have a flash sale on your favorite Ferrari or whatever, insert supercar, provided nothing is wrong with it, right? It still works and it's still, 100% functional. Then yeah, you would take a 20, 30, 40% discount on pretty much anything, any kind of a sale, right? It's worth it. So not financial advice, but that's just my point of view. With that being said, guys, we're going to talk about a whole bunch of different projects today, kind of rapid style, beginning with Uniqly here, Uniqly_IO on Twitter. They're pleased to announce the Uniqly.io NFT non-fungible token Launchpad, where you're going to be able to participate in some of the hottest NFT collection drops in the crypto space. The address is here, uniqly.io/launchpad. Coming soon, very soon actually, in a couple of days. Actually, that's tomorrow, the 25th of April at 5 p.m. CET. That is tomorrow. Don't miss the whitelist. Be unique. And if you're hearing about Uniqly for the first time, pretty cool project and a very innovative initiative. You can check out Robert's video, which I will link to in the form of a card above. You can check that out. And I do encourage you to check this out. We have a couple of projects right now that we're following that we're actually pretty enthusiastic about when it comes to NFTs. Uniqly is one of them. So do check out that video if you've not already. Delta Exchange, Bitcoin and altcoin derivatives at Delta_exchange. Own DETO and enjoy unlimited free withdrawals. You get free Bitcoin and ERC20 withdrawals if you hold 2,500 DETO or more in your Delta wallet. Learn more about that at delta.exchange/blog. If you're hearing about Delta Exchange for the first time, we covered them in our recent 100 times moonshots series of videos. They were one of our picks as far as something that right now is kind of up and coming, probably under your radar right now as far as your awareness of the project. Maybe you've heard the name, but if you haven't, it's something that's fairly high quality, at least in our opinion, and that is punching above its weight. So still very small market cap. It's something that has a lot of potential. Speaking of projects with high potential, AIOZ. I like a lot of people that talk about how AIOZ is just a ripoff of Theta. Look, it's more nuanced than that. Theta is always going to be my favorite no matter what, but I like some of what AIOZ is doing. There's no doubt about that. They are announcing AIOZ Network Bridge. Swap your AIOZ tokens using ETH BSC, Binance Smart Chain Bridge, to convert ERC20 to BEP20 seamlessly. This is happening in a couple of days on the 26th of April at 8 a.m. UTC. So that's a Monday. Here's a step-by-step tutorial. If you're interested, you can also check out that tutorial, AIZ Network Tutorial, ETH BSC Bridge Tutorial. That is on medium.com. We'll link to that below. Fractal is in the news at Fractal Particle. That's Fractal PRTCL. The current web is centralized, which puts our identity and privacy at risk. I agree. Join Ingoruby. Is that how you say it? Ingoruby? Maybe I'm not seeing something from Kilt Protocol in his thought leadership piece on how the Web3 is the solution to overcome the limitations of current data oligopolies. There's a video that you can check out on the subject here on their YouTube channel. You can check that out, and our friends over at Fractal. Kudeep here is in the news for Trodl.com, something that we've also talked about in our 100 times moonshots video series. He says, as we approach the public launch of the Trodl platform, I only have one goal in mind, and that is to onboard 20 million new users to crypto through Trodl before the next bull run starts. Real validation would be 1 million plus users by the end of 2021, which I believe is possible. Hashtag Trodl, hashtag TRO, hashtag crypto. We're talking about a lot of projects today that, again, are not the biggest names in the world, but if you haven't already checked out our videos, I would encourage you to check out our series of 4 100 times moonshots video. We go over Trodl in more detail and give you guys our take on exactly why we're so bullish on this project. Again, if you're under the radar, if you're very low market cap, sometimes, honestly, there is a higher risk involved, but it's that high risk, kind of high reward trade-off. And I would like to think that, the team over at Altcoin Buzz, we've kind of combed through so many, there's thousands of projects out there. So if we're giving you our favorite 20, it should go without saying, but I'll say it anyway, that we've done our homework, we've done our due diligence and our legwork, and we have confidence in these projects that we're presenting to you guys. Speaking of another one here, we covered Blank Wallet. They're onboarding a new round of early access users to try Blank Wallet, the most private, non-custodial Ethereum browser wallet. Emails will be sent out during the upcoming week. If you're still not on the list, you can sign up here with the link that they provide. Moving right along, Oin Finance is in the news. At FinanceOin is the Twitter handle. Oin partners with Blind Boxes, something else that we've covered very recently. This collaboration will see Blind Boxes utilize Oin DAO to issue their own stablecoin. We'll also embark on our own crypto art journey and mint branded NFTs to be sold exclusively in Blind Boxes. More on that is available here on medium.com. Oin Finance ventures with Blind Boxes to launch NFT non-fungible token collection. Very cool. Yield Shield here, great name, is in the news. Yield Shield testnet is live. We forked the mainnet, so the app uses real-world data. Please follow our tutorial and test it. Yes, it's a forked mainnet. We were overwhelmed by the amount of people who started testing our product. The testnet crashed. We're going to put it back up and share once everything is back up. Again, more available here on yieldshield.medium.com. So I mentioned earlier in the video, I was talking about one of my favorites, unabashedly and unapologetically, it is VeChain. Although we did our own VeChain price analysis, by the way, check it out. Card should be popping up right about now. You can also check out this piece on newsbtc.com. VeChain holds its ground relatively. I mean, it took like a ridiculous price tumble, like 50% retracement, which to me, I was happy to see actually, because VeChain's future, I agree, it's inevitable that it's going to be $1. So if it loses 50% in a flash crash, I'm buying it up. Not financial advice, but that's the action that I took personally. So NewsBTC asks, can VeChain reach $1? If you're interested in this price analysis, as far as their assessment of the ascending triangle pattern here that may be in play, I'm not so much interested in the charts when it comes to VeChain, to be honest. I just like long-term, their vision, long-term. Like, they have a legitimate chance, in my opinion, to be a top 5 cryptocurrency, maybe number 4. So I could see Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance Coin, and VeChain at number 4. Because when you think about the size of the global logistics market, when you think about the importance that is going to have to be placed more and more on product integrity, tracing, authenticity, traceability, accountability, logistics management, blockchain solutions, like that to me is as big as it gets. And they're already dealing with various industries. They have some great partners: automotive, pharmaceutical, medical, even stuff that's a bit more casual, like food shipments and stuff. I think there's a good argument to be made that, VeChain could very well be in the top 5, probably sooner rather than later. People are just continuing to wake up to it. Let me know your thoughts about that, guys, in the comments below. VeChain is one of our favorites that, did take one of those big hits, talking about the 7-day trends. As you can see here, VeChain down over 20% in these last 7 days. I don't know. I just kind of made a bit of a gut decision, but when I saw that VeChain was down to, somewhere in the range of 13, 14 cents, I definitely bought up a whole bunch without hesitation. So I think we'll see relatively soon new all-time highs. Don't forget, recently VeChain hit an all-time high of 28, let's call it 28.1 cents. That was set 6 days ago. We're down now more than, well, not more than, but just about 10 cents off of that all-time high. Not to worry. I wouldn't be concerned about it. VeChain's future is very bright indeed. As is PancakeSwap, or PancakeSwaps, right? Binance Smart Chain, as we were just talking about, at PancakeSwap here from earlier today. Next, the farms marked will start with that symbol. We'll start switching to V2 at 10:30 UTC. You can stake V2 LP tokens in the new farms once they're live. Can't stake V2 LP tokens yet. The farm is probably still on V1. We're updating in order. Check back soon. Beware of scams, of course. Mods never DM you. By the way, while we're on the subject of scams, Altcoin Buzz never DMs you. It's a bit of an epidemic because you have all these fake accounts that multiply like rabbits in the comments below. You should always look out for the approved, the grayed out check. If I'm responding to you guys legitimately, or maybe Robert is, or Leia is, or another member of the team, then you know that it's a legitimate comment if it has that approved, kind of like Twitter, right? The verified check marks. YouTube has its own system. But we never encourage you guys to call a WhatsApp number or some phone number or give you an email of some guru investors. If you have any Altcoin Buzz account that's doing that, they are scammers. They are misrepresenting themselves, pretending to be yours truly. Ignore them. In fact, flag them, report them to YouTube if possible. But you guys are too smart to fall for their scams. We know that. Just kind of alerting maybe if there's some newbies in the space, maybe if you're new to crypto, always be on high alert because there are so many scams in this space, and especially on Twitter, especially on YouTube. I often get asked like, well, okay, well, they pop up. Why don't you delete them? I do. I delete them every single day, block them from the channel. It's very easy, unfortunately, to just start up a new YouTube profile, right? So that's what they do. They get blocked and then they multiply. They start a new channel. They get blocked again. They start a new profile and the cycle continues that way. So best to ignore them. Anyways, just kind of a PA, I guess, like just so you guys understand. I know you're too smart anyway to fall for it, but be aware. You guys can check out the full group here of those V2 farms going live soon and those that are already live. Looks like this has been updated since the time of this post because this was from about 10 hours ago, so there's probably some change to that visual as we saw it. Okay, just want to end off the video here with some positive macro level news. And there are a few stories here. If you're feeling kind of, I don't know, a little bit glum with the state of the market right now, just, keep these stories in the back of your mind. And these are not stories that we're repeating, by the way. Every day, there are more positive macro level stories, if not at the level of institutional adoption, then certainly at the level of institutional products that are being either rolled out or that are being prepared behind the scenes for customers with this voracious appetite for crypto, right? All those customers of Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, even some of the pension funds that have customers out there, we know that customers are requesting Bitcoin, altcoin products. They don't want to have direct exposure necessarily, but they want to have, some exposure to either an index or some kind of a product. And this is speaking to that specifically. So on CoinDesk.com, New York Stock Exchange, NYSE files to list shares of Valkyrie's Bitcoin ETF. The SEC is already reviewing 3 ETF applications. It stands to reason, in my opinion, that one of them is going to go through very soon. It may be Valkyrie's. Who knows? Let's read here for just a sec. The New York Stock Exchange has filed a 19B4 form on behalf of the investment firm for its Bitcoin exchange traded fund ETF late on Friday. This form will kick off a 45-day review period when the U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission acknowledges the filing. I mean, it may not be this one in particular that's approved, but sooner or later they're going to have to approve one of them. So it is inevitable, as Thanos would say. Other good news here, we're on globenewswire.com. 21 Shares launches Stellar, XLM, and Cardano ADA ETPs exchange-traded products, a global first for both. So 21 Shares AG, the pioneering issuer of crypto exchange-traded products, ETP is launching the world's first Stellar and Cardano ETP on the regulated market on the Swiss stock exchange known as SIX. That's SIX exchange. On Monday, that's coming up on the 26th of April, further boosting 21 Shares as the leading issuer of crypto ETPs. Kudos and congratulations to them. That's very, it's a small step. It's a small revolutionary incremental step, but it helps the ecosystem. And finally, Litecoin.com here, at Litecoin.com. Digital asset managers CoinShares have launched the first Litecoin ETP, since we're on the subject of ETPs, exchange traded funds. I believe Charlie Lee retweeted this. You guys can check out this piece if you're so inclined. CoinShares launches the first Litecoin LTP. More and more products that are kind of like secondary market products. And by that, I mean that somebody wouldn't, necessarily, not everybody wants to go out and purchase a Cardano, a Stellar, a Litecoin, but they have exposure to an ETP, an exchange traded product, which in my opinion is better than nothing. I'd rather, be the sole custodian of the cryptocurrency, but if that's not everybody's jam, then at least there are more and more options coming out, right? It's all about options. It's all about giving the people what they want, having a multitude of options, and then the cards will fall as they're going to fall. But, people have options, and if they want to, have a little bit of separation, have a little bit of distance, then this is the kind of thing that will cater to those clients and customers. So I remain bullish, guys. The market is, ho-hum, but this is great news all around, and a lot of optimism, as you can tell in my voice, in my demeanor. I'm not shaken in the least. I've been around this space now. It's my 5th year in cryptocurrency. And, it's at the point now that if I see a dip, I get excited about it, personally speaking. So I recommend, guys, as always, because there's so much happening in this space, to be sure you're following us on all the regular social media channels. Keep checking back into altcoinbuzz.io for all the latest. Like, subscribe, share, hit the bell to receive notifications if you enjoyed today's video. Best of luck if you choose to invest on this Saturday. Have a great weekend, members of the Altcoin Buzz Army. Stay safe, and as always, we do hope to see you again soon in our next video. Take care.